twisted the whole table, nigga.
I know, this table scares me. Hey, everybody. Welcome to, what is this, our third session? Third session. Back in living color, refreshed, vacation, non-tired, ready to talk. How's everybody doing? Oh, let me introduce everybody. We got Craig, OG in the house.
Yep.
We've got Foxy Jackie
Foxy J.
And we got JT. Reverend JT Williams.
The Reverend.
Negative. But I'm ready to put it on you like the preacher.
Oh, Lord. And then there's me, Cecily.
The Diva.
All right, y'all. We back. We all vacationed, ready. We sorry we kept y'all waiting. Y'all, what y'all been? How was your week? How's your day?
Oh, I had an awesome weekend. You know what I mean? I went and checked out that Monica thing, man. So,
Monica did her thing.
They did their thing, man. And, for all of y'all that say that folks can't get together and do something, man, we had no problems out there.
Positive vibes.
That's
positive.
That's what's
you know
up.
What I mean?
And then Monica jumped on a plane and went to go see her man in jail, honey. She went to go see her man.
Ride or die.
It was positive until they just brought the brother down.
No, okay. I didn't bring him down.
Ride or die. Ride or die.
Why couldn't you just say? Why you couldn't just say you just went to go see him?
She went to go see him. I know where C Murder been at. We know where he at.
If I was at work, you wouldn't have said that.
5 to 10.
Which one went with the quarterback?
Huh?
Oh, that's Sierra.
Oh, okay.
Sierra.
I'm about to say, I thought she was
I was confused.
Quarterback.
I was confused.
Okay.
No, that's Sierra. We're talking about Russell.
Sierra and Future and all that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. What's good, though?
We're going to jump on in.
Because we're talking about toxic relationships tonight.
And
this is a multi-leveled topic. It goes so far.
I believe it is.
Multifaceted. Faceted, that's the word. And I just don't know how we going to do this, but we going to just do it. Toxic relationships. I just want to let y'all know I'm in one with RG&E and I can't get out.
Oh, shoot. I think everybody in with that because they the only players in the town.
They the only ones. And we got to play by the rules because I don't do cold. So, nonetheless, that was a joke. I hope y'all laughed and got that. But anyway.
We going through that. Got me a letter today.
Yeah.
They sent me a car note.
Yeah. They sent me a car note.
So where we going with toxic, man?
So.
She got a
Did we
little
define
pad.
what toxicity is?
She got a little pad.
Yeah, I need to know because what do y'all consider toxic?
We're finna talk about it right now.
And is your toxic my toxic?
Oh, I thought Jack was about to say something.
It doesn't have to be. Your toxic doesn't have to be my toxic, but it may be enough for me to keep myself away from it.
I mean, I've been in a few, so, I'm just trying to figure out where y'all coming with it.
Well, see, we can go, there's a million different ways we can go. We could do toxic with family. We could do toxic with friends. We could do toxic in relationships.
Oh, I thought that's what we was talking about. I ain't got no
We're
toxic.
talking about it all. So,
okay.
I looked up the definition of a toxic relationship.
I was going to do that earlier, forgot. I'm so glad. See, this is why we friends, because she's like my little brain. Go ahead, girl.
So, the definition says a toxic relationship is one that makes you feel unsupported, misunderstood, demeaning, or attacked. On a basic level of any relationship that makes you feel worse rather than better.
Well, who the hell wrote that, man? Was that Webster?
So it could be physical or psychological. Let's start there. Emotional, physical, psychological,
I think,
emotional.
man, like the toxic thing starts with the psychological. There's nothing worse than in a relationship, man, where one person has left the relationship but still living in the house.
So we talking about relationships, man, women. That's the direction we going in.
I think it's all.
I don't know what other.
I don't think it matters.
When y'all said toxic relationship, man, y'all was talking about.
Do we want to dissect? But I guess my question is, which one do you want to dissect first? Because we could jump into all of them and spread it out.
I think it's all faceted.
So we're talking about toxic. I thought we just started
both.
So you wanted to go into religion?
I was just starting there. You know what I'm saying? I thought we started one. Yeah.
All right, that's where we're going. So we're going into relationships. And when we're talking toxicity, the first thing in a relationship, the first thing I think of is equally yoked. Are you equally yoked? That's where I start off in my mind. Your toxicity may not be mine, right? Mm-hmm. Are we equally yoked?
How is that possible?
Yeah, how could you be equally yoked?
I mean,
I think you have to be equally yoked to be in a relationship. I don't think that has anything to do with toxic.
No, I guess my point is, if there's toxicity, well, yeah, are you if there's toxicity in my relationship, we're not equally yoked.
I guess we have to define yoke, man.
Yeah, because
like,
I think if there's toxicity in a relationship, it's literally based on some of that definition, meaning you feel misunderstood, you feel unsupported, you're attacking each other. I don't think that has anything to do with equally yoked. Equally yoked is spiritual.
Or compatibility. Maybe that's the word. Are we compatible?
I feel like it has to do with communication.
Yep.
I feel like it has to do with how you treat each other, as far as neglect, as far as do you feel safe, how have you identified yourself in a relationship, do you feel lost, are you not respected, are you judgmental, are you having competition dynamics,
Don't lie on the podcast.
if your mate doesn't have any sympathy or empathy for you, all of those are toxic traits. You can be equally yoked as far as, spiritually minded, both going to church, both having the same moral values. To me, that's equally yoked. But there's still toxic traits in a relationship.
Okay, so let's delve into that. How do you maneuver around in those relationships?
well, I mean, if it's toxic, man, my thing, man, is the springboard right on up out of there, man. Because I think for me, I have to go back to the beginning, man. When people saying dating, they don't know what dating is, man. Dating is a lot of questions, and a lot of observing, and a lot of things like that. And so for me, I'm in an age where I date somebody. I'm looking at a lot of things, and if I see some things, man, I might disappear on the face of earth on you. You may know where I'm at.
To me, dating is an interview process. That's how I look at it.
That's what it is. That's what dating is.
It's an interview process. I'm interviewing you to see if you're a good candidate to be my spouse and give me what I want. Because I've spent time with myself, I'm pretty clear on what it is that I want. And I'm going to know if who I'm talking to has the potential to provide to me what I'm looking for. Like, I'm going to kind of be able to see it better than I would have 20 years ago. If that makes sense?
It makes sense, but are you able to settle for what you want?
Absolutely. Well, no, it depends on what I'm settling about. Because there's core things I ain't settling on. If you just leave your drawers on the floor and you're messy and you don't put the toilet seat down, I'm not breaking up with you over that. But if you are abusive or you are a cheater, which in my opinion is abuse, or you're not loyal or you're dishonest, stuff like that, I ain't settling on.
I think a person should first have the ability to, one, realize they're in a toxic relationship,
right,
and admit, two, that it's damaging, and three, want to be able to move out or get out of it. If either of those three things are not met, that toxic trait is just going to continue.
Now, with that being said, let's say, for example, I identify that that's what's, or actually, let's say, for example, I don't identify that that's what's going on. Then what do you do? When you don't know that you're the toxic person, because sometimes it's you, or let's say, for example, you know what you got going on isn't right, you know it's not meeting your needs, but you don't leave, and why? Like, what happens with you within why you wouldn't actually leave? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It's settling, ain't it?
Yeah, it's settling. So
why would you settle?
I think like most times, man, because he looked good, you know what I mean, or she's built right, whatever. It makes me go past what's going on in the relationship versus what I see and I want.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that's in most relationships, man, when it's abusive. I don't care if it's anything. It's most time that person that's being abused is getting something out of it that's not really worth, from our point of view, it's not worth what you're going through.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And so it blows your mind, man, when you see a woman getting abused and she turns around and look at her friends or relatives and say, hey, you don't understand him. He loves me. He just going through this. You know what I mean? So they have a rhyme or reason, how crazy it may be.
The willingness.
Right. You know what I mean? So that was in the definition, the willingness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's also things that are broken with a lot. And I'm a big believer in this. A lot of people tend to disagree with me on it, but I'm a big fan of manifestation, and I'm a big fan of you attract what you are. So a lot of times we are in relationships that there are certain patterns. It's the same person over and over and over again. You're going through the same thing, but just different people. In my opinion, until you take the time to stop and kind of do some research within yourself. Because a lot of it is our insecurities, and we're projecting it out, and we're attracting it.
What you allow. You attract what you allow.
Because that's what you feel about yourself. Like, for example, someone who's in a relationship with someone that cheats and doesn't leave. I personally feel like when you don't leave, you don't feel like you can do anything better, or you're not worthy. So this is all you can get. So I'm going to just take what I can get from this person because they pay the bills or because they come home. I don't feel like if I break up with this person and walk away, I'm worthy of better or that I can attract better. So I just settle and take whatever I can get.
Yeah, because it's like that might be toxic for you, but it might not be toxic for the other person.
Right.
So you might call me toxic today, then I get with this female and she doesn't seem to think it's toxic. So who's to say who was toxic, me or you?
It's depending on what you're willing to accept.
Exactly.
That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
If she's willing to accept you cheating, as far as I'm concerned, she's toxic. You are too, but there's something, she's toxic within herself, right? Like if I'm willing to settle, you know what I mean? There's something wrong with me. And that's toxic within myself. But I would allow you to come in and do something that damaging to me.
I can't judge her happiness the way she seeks her happiness.
Is she truly happy?
If
right?
she's happy.
No woman is going to generally be, let me take that back.
You never know.
Most women are not generally going to be happy with a man that cheats.
I don't know if she
No, some of them probably are.
No, that's what I said. Most of them. There are people who will be like, "That's fine with me." You know, do what you do.
I don't really even
like
think that they're
fine.
fine. I don't even think they're saying that it's fine. I think that they just don't want to give up everything that they have for that infidelity part of the situation, and it starts to turn into a regular phenomenon. You want to say like if it happens once, it's going to happen again.
It's always going to happen.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean it's what you settle for. I think in the minds of these people, they're looking at somebody, man, and hoping that they change into who they want them to be instead of accepting them for who they really are.
That's another conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's mental. It's
for sure.
It's psychological, because, like you said, if they're willing to forego or ignore all of the negative or the things that they are accepting because they don't want to give, maybe it's financial they're getting. Mm-hmm. So they're willing to let him cheat because he provides, right. He gives them money, or he puts. And I say he because I'm guessing it's he that's cheating.
Of course you do. I mean, she done did it a few times.
As a woman, but women cheat too.
Of course they do. Yeah, I'm sure the guys ain't cheating by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
But yes, she's foregoing. The person is foregoing all the negative things that their mate. Because I don't want to say he or she.
Right.
Is doing. Cheating, whether it's physical, whether it's abuse, whether it's psychological, whether it's emotional, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So basically, she's willing to just accept whatever because he's providing for her.
I'm trying to. There we go. I'm just looking for comments.
Hey, but so I'm getting. I get that, but that's why I asked about the settling. And I was talking to my daughter and them today about that, man. Like settling is like going to buy a car. There's some things when I go buy a car that I must have. I gotta have a door. I gotta have a steering wheel.
Brakes.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
I gotta, Now the stuff that I might settle for is 22-inch rims, a 15-inch woofer. You know what I mean? Some things that we is not a deal breaker. You know what I mean? Now that's not to say that I can't get those in the future. So when you're looking in a relationship, you might see something that's rough around the edges, and you have to make a decision to say that you're going to be with this with the thought that it's never going to change. You can't go into it thinking that it's going to change and blame the person that it's not changed. You just have to accept the person for who they are.
And then that's
if they change.
That's a conversation you have to have with yourself. Are you willing to do that?
Oh, that should be a conversation before we get. That's the part of the dating thing.
I don't think that's reality. I don't think people are having these conversations with themselves, saying that they're not even admitting that they're in a toxic relationship. They're not, or friendship. I don't think people are out here willingly admitting or accepting or mentally saying that to themselves.
Right. I think what people are doing is kidding themselves into believing that they're okay with it. I'll be all right. I'm good. I'm good. But deep down inside, they're not. I'm going to tell you what relationship I could be in and be completely happy. I mean, if you cheat, you cheat. Yeah, do what you want to do. A football player.
So it's levels to it. So
yeah, if you got the money and financially, and then I go do what I want to do. Yeah, probably.
No, obviously no. That's what you wanted. The football players, I don't think they would. I played football. That ain't what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I liked.
Because I just feel like in that type of arena, you don't.
Did you just say that you were okay with it?
If I'm with a football player, I don't expect that I'm not going to be cheated on.
So it's okay for
that's probably
football
why,
players to cheat.
Why I wouldn't do it. It's not. I just don't believe that anybody in the entertainment industry, sports industry is faithful. I don't believe it.
No.
So
Russell Wilson.
They don't have human tendencies like anybody else. So because faithful? They're football players or in the entertainment, that makes them exempt.
So if my brother,
I think that they have exposure and
that's
access
toxic.
to things.
You're toxic.
I'm just being real. I'm being real. Call me toxic, but I'm being real. I think they have exposure to things that I don't think that they have the willpower
the problem with what I think you're saying is that you're saying that football players and people in the big industry where they're making big money, you cool with it if they cheat on you. But if you work at if you work at Strong, General Motors or something like that, you can't cheat on me because your zeros ain't as much as LeBron James type of thing, right? Is that what you're saying?
So yeah, we're going back to sisters. Remember we talked about this when Danny came home and he moved her from a little old apartment to the penthouse suite and did all these things. And I said to myself, I think I probably could be bought. Okay. I probably could. I have to be real myself. I mean,
Even though
probably could. I was better with myself for a minute.
So are you saying that you want the things or you want that relationship?
I would probably want the things. I wouldn't care about the relationship. I want the things. If you could upgrade me and I could figure out how to get myself to a point where I could sustain it and then leave you, yeah, I probably would do that.
Did you gonna leave?
I'm gonna leave.
Hey, did you find that? Did you find any more gold?
What are you talking about?
You sound like you digging.
No. We talking about this on Facebook. I'm being real. I don't know that I could be like, stop, take these things back and leave me alone. I'm getting a restraining order. I don't know if I could do that. I'm just.
So you're just saying if you got a lot of money, you can do whatever the hell you want to.
Hypothetically, yeah. If I was in that type of situation,
I wasn't talking hypothetically. I mean,
I don't know. So yeah, we're talking hypothetically. I'm kind of being an asshole right now, but. I don't know if I can walk away from that.
I'm glad you say that, man, because you know, I mean, like you were earlier. You were saying that if they cheat, that's it. They're done. I'm not messing with them, right? And
again,
the reason why
but
the reason why people stay is because of the things that person may be doing for them. They ain't just going in and say, man, I can't wait to get in here and get my ass whooped today. You know what I mean? I can't wait to get in here and get abused verbally by this person. They're getting some things that maybe this person's helping them with their kids. Maybe this person's helping them with their finances. Maybe this person's helping them.
How come what I just said is wrong?
Because you said no at the beginning.
I said no, but you just said that there may be some benefits that somebody could be getting out of it, right?
Right.
Okay, so if I'm with a man that is worth a couple million, I might be willing to turn my head.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm just saying that it changed it twisted your idealistic of what you said earlier.
Financially,
you said if somebody cheated on you, there's no excuse. You ain't dealing with them. You ain't going with them.
I don't don't think it's an excuse.
I'm
For
being
me.
real.
So people with money ain't dealing
For
with
me.
toxic then.
Shit. I mean, shoot.
Well, probably to some level are, yeah, but y'all just said everybody has. Everybody
Right, so,
has their reasons why.
so even with that being said, man, like, you know, Beyonce comes to the door and I'm with somebody, and she says, "JT, I want to take you away, but I'm with somebody." Do you think that I should leave? Would that be toxic if I leave with Beyonce for the weekend?
For the weekend?
Hey, man, I'm shooting for the rest of my life, but the weekend.
You trying to turn that Monday into
Is this
forever?
the weekend?
Okay.
Yeah, if I
But
get-
you trying to? I mean, I don't know.
What you mean?
But I'm
I
with-
don't know.
If I'm in a happy relationship and Morris Chestnut came to me and said, "I want you," yeah. I'll probably
So did you
I do.
discuss it with your mate to see if he was okay?
Every dude that I ever
I
dated
mean, are you
knows
just
I'm in
out here
love with
cheating?
2 people. There's 3 men. Excuse me, I'm
ain't got
lying.
nothing
There's
to do
3
with it,
men
Cecily.
that are automatic deal breakers. Morris Chestnut, Method Man, and Bobby Brown. Automatic deal breakers.
Okay, I don't think that has anything to do with
So
anything.
I'm just answering the
No,
question.
we're talking about you with somebody and you're gonna leave
Are we
for the
talking
weekend.
about imagination world or are we talking about reality?
This reality.
Because you just bought a Beyonce. So
Yeah,
my
that's
dude came to
right.
me and
Are you
said,
trying to say?
Beyonce,
Are you trying to say Beyonce wouldn't knock on my door?
I didn't say that. What I'm
That's
saying
what I
is,
did.
That's reality.
you
to
just
me.
sat here and said, I mean, she's not, but I'm just saying.
Hey,
You said,
Oh.
if Beyonce was a knock on your door,
Uh-huh.
what would your options be? Would you say, no, I'm in a relationship, B, that's cool, but no, I'm a pass. I'm not going to do that. Or would you walk out the door? What's the difference between me having that conversation and this Morris Chestnut?
Because I didn't say cheating. I am leaving regardless. There's no excuse. There's nothing. You said that, not me. Now I'm saying hearing an
Put some money on the
excuse.
table, I'm probably gonna-
Now I'm hearing some excuses.
No,
You know what I
no
mean?
problem.
So there is some reason. So if I cheat on you and I came and bought you a Benz, you'd be like, well,
No,
okay.
I would not leave for a Benz. You got to do a little bit more than a Benz.
Oh my God.
Come on now, sunshine.
saying.
Come on, sunshine.
I'm just saying.
Come on, sunshine.
Oh,
A
a
G-Wagon? You couldn't even take a Jeep. No,
Benz?
come on,
No,
son.
So,
I need some ones.
The
I
bottom
need some
line
M's.
is you're saying you. Let's
I
just
probably could
get
be
back to
bought.
reality. The bottom line, you're saying you're okay with that a man can cheat on you. Literally is what you just said.
I
You would
could
be
probably
okay
bought
with
is what
it.
I'm saying.
As long as he's providing you financially, you would be
If,
okay
if,
with a
if
man
he
cheating
got,
on you.
if his, yeah, I could probably be bought.
If you can go back with a man for cheating on you for $1 million, you can go back for $1.
I'm not going back for no dollar. You gonna pay
That's
me
all
for
it
my-
is. I mean,
That's
there-
what it is. You're
you
gonna
can
pay
go
me
back
for
for
my
$1.
pain. You're gonna pay me for my pain. You can't pay me for my pain with no dollar. You
This
gonna pay
is
me for my pain.
This is very interesting.
You're very toxic. I see.
This is very interesting.
being honest.
And I like it, and I want you to be.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I told you this with sisters.
I knew it, man. I said, man,
On Facebook, I said, I think.
and I walked in here and I
think
looked
could be
at your
bought.
car and I seen that pitchfork and that shovel in the back seat. I said, man, what in the world is this girl doing with
The
that?
devil now?
Not a
No,
pitchfork and
no,
shovel,
you digging
burying-
for something. You
on.
digging for something.
I'm just saying, if I was at that status, I mean,
I get it.
And so, with that being said, I feel like there's probably a lot of people who probably feel that same way.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about reality
Unfortunately,
and keeping
let me
it
just
in
say
reality, no. I've been cheated on, and I have unfortunately cheated. I know both sides of the spectrum. It's not cool, and no, cheating is a deal breaker for me.
Cheater too.
I'm not a cheater. I have
cheated.
cheated one time.
Well, that's a
It's
cheat.
not a repeated offense. But I did
That's
cheat.
valid.
One time.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I did cheat.
You broke
That
it
is
down.
valid.
You broke down
That
your
is valid.
cheating into just one single time. So you're not a cheating, you're a cheater.
I cheated. I'm
Cheated.
not
No,
a
not
cheater.
even an it's an S.
Cheater is somebody that continues to do it. I
yeah.
did cheat.
So if
Yeah.
you kill somebody, you're just a murderer. But if you kill more than 2 people, you're a murderer.
Murderer.
Yeah.
I like that. She
I
said
get it.
she-
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still not
Would
a
you do it
murderer.
again?
You're just a murderer.
No, I've never done it again.
Okay.
I was 25 when it happened. 43. Never done it again. And there's stories behind that. We can get into.
But there's
that one day.
excuses, I mean.
No, there's
behind
not
it.
an excuse. There's a story behind it. Trust me. There's
That's
a
what
legit
stories
story
are.
behind
That's what
it.
a story is.
No,
A story
it's
is a
not
storyteller.
story.
That is also
It
valid.
is also. It is. There's a reason that it happened. We can get into it.
That's okay. We'll
I
get
just
into it
think
later.
toxic
Which
is
is
a
an
hard
excuse.
word,
Cheater.
man.
That was valid.
I'm not saying. I'm not telling you I didn't
I'm
cheat.
just messing with you.
I totally
She-
cheated. I was
she
112% wrong.
All right.
Dead ass
So I guess, man, like toxic, man, could go any kind of way, man. Like, you know, whatever you feel that is not good in your relationship, it could be toxic. You know what I mean? If I come home at 3 o'clock in the morning and the deal was for me to come home before midnight all the time, that could turn into a toxic situation. You know what I mean? Between us, but the next man could come out that I was hanging out with, he go in the house and go to bed and go to sleep, man. The woman don't never say nothing. So it ain't toxic over at his house. It's just a toxic over at my house. You know what I'm saying?
You know that there's that saying, I think, what is it, Miss Evelyn from the Braxton said this on one of the episodes, where she said, if you're not going to do anything about it, then let that man do what he got to do in peace.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Who said
So
that?
that could very
Your
well
Mama
be
Braxton?
the situation. Miss Braxton said that.
Oh, sure.
So that may be the
I
situation.
need to start watching it. What is it that?
Oh, you don't watch that foolishness.
Yeah, you're right. Now you
But
sure
that was a
ain't.
couple seasons ago. She said that if you're not gonna do anything about it, if you're just gonna hoot, holler, and cry, then you just need to go ahead and let that man do what he got to do in peace.
Hey, man, and I think that's most things, man. That's a lot of toxic.
So that
right
may
there.
be the reason why, like you said, that person goes home and.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of arguing every
Just
week,
accept
man,
it.
makes no sense to me, man. If I do it every week, man, either you gotta should get off the pot, man. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. I come home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now you have a decision to make.
I agree
Don't
with that.
argue with me every week about what I do.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Either
Because a lot of times people go into things like we said earlier, thinking they can change somebody. Like, I heard you say that, but I think I can change you. I think I can work on it. I think I can mold you into what I want, and then it doesn't work.
because you
find
kind of
yourself
look
spending
like
time.
Morris Chestnut, so I can work with it a
No,
little
I'm not-
bit.
No, you gotta be Morris. You can't look like him.
Or they pay her RG&E bill.
Well, you
Oh,
can talk if you're
shoot.
paying Reggie, because Reggie's getting out of hand. Reggie's
Y'all
trying
heard,
to be up there with
y'all
Lil
heard that
Ricky.
if you got RG&E money.
So let's just break it down a little bit further, because again, we're talking about toxic relationships, and it doesn't necessarily have to be cheating, right?
It does.
No.
So,
She don't know how to cook
That's toxic if she don't know how to cook.
in my book.
Do you know how to cook?
What they got to do with what the hell
I'm
she
going
supposed to do?
somewhere. Do you know how to cook?
Yeah,
that's
So
toxic.
why y'all can't get in the kitchen and cook together? Maybe
because
you
that's
teach
not the complexity of our relationship.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Why she can't get outside and change the damn time?
Or get that gas.
I'm not getting gas.
Obviously.
pumping no gas.
Obviously.
I just don't that over
Nothing
there.
you
She's like, don't
Listen,
even
but
do
I
this.
cook. I cook, I
want some
clean.
gas.
But I ain't pumping no gas. But
I
Yeah.
do think that there are, and we could talk about gender roles at some point in time too, because I really want to talk about that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so levels of toxicity.
Toxicity.
Levels of toxicity.
It's actually a
That
sexy
word.
word. Toxicity.
It could be, again, physical,
Yep.
psychological, or emotional. It could be communication. It could be neglect. One who don't feel safe. If you lose yourself in a relationship, if you're feeling belittled, if you're feeling like you're always being judged or judgmental, if you're feeling like you're always in a competition with your mate, if you feel like there's no sympathy, empathy,
It's that competition part.
or a
That's
lack
terrible.
of yes,
terrible.
or lack of compassion, if you're feeling manipulated, a level of dysfunctionality, if there's always, you feel like there's always anger or rage, or no expectations or unwillingness
to change.
to change.
Yeah.
So I do have a caller,
A
reader.
You?
who says toxic relationships don't allow for growth.
They don't.
And any one of these levels, to me, don't allow for growth.
None of them.
So, with that being said, what does that mean? Like, we're not growing. We're just staying in the same place. We're going in a circle. We're going in a paradigm. We're just going through the same thing year in and year out.
I think the point of relationships are to be, I think, in my opinion, relationships are to be productive. Like, there's something that should be getting done. And if your relationship has any of that going on, you aren't growing. You're constantly sitting in, like you said, this one, you can't talk all of a sudden. This one position and nothing is
No progression.
progressing. There's no
Right.
progression at all.
It's damaging.
Very. And as far
And
as
that
I'm
goes
concerned,
back to
that's time.
emotional,
Yeah.
psychological.
But
Yeah.
she
Physical.
said that this was the last girls' trip. She said she wasn't going on no more girls trip, man, for at least 2 years until we start building. But every time I talk about,
you going somewhere? Where you at?
What were we just talking about, man? Stay with me.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm talking about the growth.
The growth.
The reason why we can't grow is because she keep going on these doggone girls trips.
You're going to have to bring this home for me because I don't understand what girl trips got to do with it.
Is that
bring it home. I'm
meaning a discussion you had with her and that's
is
what she
something
told
going
you?
on the girls trips
Well, we
that
said-
ain't right? Or like what's talk to us.
That's y'all personal argument?
See, no,
Right.
yeah.
'Cause I
see,
go
you
on
went,
girls
you that girls trip threw you off. You went in too deep. We was just talking about a part of the talks is that we're not growing.
Right.
And
Right.
one of the reasons why we're
Right.
not growing is because either one or the other, he's going to hang out all the time and spending his money, or she's going and hanging out all the time spending her money. He's doing these things, she's doing these things, and we're not doing these things together in order to
Got
grow.
you. Okay.
So
got you.
I just said, being funny, if she's not
I
going
got you.
on the
Okay.
girls trip, but that took you to a whole different.
It did.
You wanted to
Listen,
go into something else.
You
going on
have to
another
be
trip.
very specific with me or else I'm going to be out in space.
I should have said,
I got
you can't go on no girls trip. There, everywhere you go, Morris Chestnut is in that town. Look at her smiling, and man, Morris not going to
So
be
is that a
nowhere.
level of communication?
Yes.
I think it's a level of it's definitely a level of communication. 'Cause I think most of that, man, derives on non-communication.
Yeah.
The other level is that you ain't who I thought you were.
Or neglect.
Right. I'm thinking. So if me and you got plans to save our money and build and go get a house or do these things, but your homegirl calls or your sister call and say, hey, there's Bobby Brown is in California
Wait,
next
is he
week.
there with that lady and them kids? Because if he there with that lady and them kids, I'm good.
Yeah, well, we don't know until we get there. You know what I'm saying? But the moral of the story is I'm saying is that
You probably should stop using Bobby and Morris.
when you break up, when you break up the union that you had or the ideas and things that you had to go outside of the relationship and spend maybe the finances that we're saving and what I'm finding at an older age, time is more important than anything else.
So I think it doesn't really matter how much time you're spending with your boys or how much time she's spending with her girls as long as there is time spent with each other.
Is there balance?
I don't think it matters if you're spending money out of the household and if she's spending money in the household as long as there is a savings that's being had.
Right.
Because that's life.
And that's exactly what I said. I said, like, you're taking the money out that we had planned for this. Of course,
But what if
he's
she
got.
not?
Okay.
Yeah,
but
if she's not, that's not an issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the money that we had planned
that
to go and do things with. She's going to hang out to go see
and being
Morris Chestnut.
inconsiderate and doing it anyway.
Right. Or I'm going to a garage and like gambling $500-600 a week.
Correct.
That's not a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, listen, I ain't got my half this week. You're gonna have to put it in.
Oh no.
So
sorry.
that goes. So that
No,
to me,
no.
that goes
Now we
far
don't need on the
past
mortgage because you was out there
neglect.
losing money.
That goes far past respect. So if you're doing all of that, then you're not respecting your relationship.
Exactly. And see, then I kind of you said you said this where you said you're not the person I thought you were, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of rewind a little bit back to the dating process because I'm a firm believer that in that dating process you should be talking about your spending habits, your finances, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So was it that person just put up a whole front the entire time, or did you miss red flags, or did you just figure this person would just change? Because that stuff you should be finding out in the dating period.
Right. So let's be honest, right? So we have to figure out how long a dating process
And
is.
there's that isn't okay. So this is something that I realize this is something I realized in my single time that I'm horrible with it. I don't know how to date. I'm horrible at it. And I missed a lot of signs and a lot of things in previous relationships that I probably would have found out had I taken a little bit more time to interview, right? So I don't know that I think that's a good question. I guess
I don't think
is there
there's a timeline. I think that people in general don't take the time in whatever timeline it is to have this communication, to have these hard conversations. They skip right over the sex. They skip right over, oh, I feel good because this person made me feel good. They skip right over to the ooh, willy bubbles in my stomach, or they skip right over to the limelight that they're having. But they're not taking the time
They're not asking the
I don't feel
questions.
like there is an actual I don't feel like there's an actual timeline, because I know people has been in a relationship for 3 months and has gotten to know the person well more than they've been in a relationship for 8 years.
Right.
So there's not a natural progression of a timeline, but there is a natural progression of what should be taking place in this interview process.
Exactly.
And
we gotta have the hard question. We gotta ask the hard questions.
We don't want to communicate.
People have to be comfortable, especially if y'all done started having sex. So you done been, I'm gonna say this and everybody goes, yeah. You done been all up between my legs and my butt. There is nothing we can't talk about. Okay? We should be having conversations.
Hey yo,
okay?
Hey yo, oh, after all of that, I won't talk to you. The communication. We done communicated. We done communicated.
I'm gonna be real. Woo! We should be able to have these. If I'm in a relationship with you, we should be able to have these conversations, whether or not we're having sex. Sex
but I'm just saying, because like you said, there
it.
are people that jump right into the sex part and then still don't have those conversations.
And no, because there's people who are having sex with someone who they don't want to be in a relationship with. So if you've been in my legs and butt, it has nothing to do with.
She said, if you've been in my legs, they can't get in your legs.
Has nothing to do with the timeline.
Right. Well, when I say timeline, man, like it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 years. The timeline derives on the kind of questions that I'm looking for, the things that I'm asking for, and I have to try to get those. And if you are blocking every time I ask those, you're deflecting or you're going somewhere, we're probably not going to go on going on a date anymore, because I can't figure out who the hell you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to continue on. So if I take you to Applebee's and get you a 2 for $25 and you think that it's time for you to give it up, you know what I'm saying?
That's a problem.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's not a problem. It's all right.
Yeah. That's a cheap date. So you know essentially, you spent $12.50 and you got some? Okay.
No. I think it's a little bit more than that. I think we have
2 for $25. What's half for $25? Unless she ate.
Oh no! I'm balling out.
All them 25.
I'm balling out at Applebee's.
You get one and I get one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm the 25.
I got 25.
I'm the 25. Then you get your 25.
No. So, but I agree. What I'm saying is that we can get into the conversation, but what happens is those kind of things get in the way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? After 2 weeks, 2 months, or whatever, we're having sex now. So
and you don't really even know that person.
We're not asking the questions, because a lot of times, man, like a lot of these things fall out of the closet, so to speak, because we're not telling everything. I'm not when you walk up on a date and be like, yeah, listen, I only brush my teeth 4 times a week. I only shower once a month. You're not saying those kind of things in a date for the first night. You might be telling some fibs. Yeah, well, yeah, I got a lot of things on the road. I'm just starting to open up this business, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and don't mind the car I got there, because I'm going to pick up the new one next week and all that stuff.
When in all, you're messing with somebody who is flighty and all over the place and has bad money management skills.
Now, if I can get into the draws, so to speak, in the week before my car gets there, I'm in good standing. You know what I'm saying? But after a week, you're gonna start saying, "Hey, didn't you say you was gonna get a new car?" Yeah. No, they're still on order, man. There's something about a chip problem, man. I gotta wait another week. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that there is some untruths that go on in a dating process, and you have to peel through those things. And then how many of those untruths are you bearing with before you say, yeah, some of the stuff you came up with ain't true?
There's some hard conversation and what do you call it? This interview process that people got to be willing to have. You got to take the time to get. I don't even think it has. To me, it shouldn't have anything to do with how much money is being spent. It shouldn't have to do with whether you took me to Applebee's or Red Lobsters or Bistro. Like, I don't really think it has anything. I think that it has to do with, like you said, peeling back the layers. Yeah. It has to do with being able to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to have real conversation and honest with yourself before you can be honest with the person, because a lot of times we're dating and we're not even being honest with ourselves. We're
Right.
trying to put on the good face when this good face is not really you.
Yeah.
And you're too busy trying to perpetrate and show all the good attributes
Right.
when you're covering up the real you.
Because you're trying,
That's
really,
the
a lot
part.
of times
That's
people are
what I'm
trying
talking about.
to be in a position where they're able to get someone. So a lot of times, especially if you've been single for a while and you're getting frustrated with it, and you find somebody that, I had this conversation with my brother, you find somebody there's 10 things I want. He's got, 6 of them, but 3 of them he said I can't have. But I'll try to see if I can fit in there and keep it. Even though I'm probably not going to be happy, it's not what I want. But I'm going to do what I can to keep it because I don't want to be alone.
And I think that's the mistake we make when we're going into, again, and we're not talking about just relationships, it could be friendship.
Yeah.
We're going into these type of toxic relationships losing ourselves.
Yes.
Because we're not honest with ourselves from the beginning, or at some point we dumped ourselves down so much because we're okay with the attributes that person brings, that whatever toxic traits that they're bringing no longer matters.
Yeah.
Where we're just allowing ourselves to accept certain things, and again, we're not being honest with ourselves.
Or again, you don't know yourself very well, and what you don't realize is you are broken in certain areas, and you keep bringing that in. You keep attracting it and bringing it in. That's also part of it too. That's what I realized. There's a lot of things about me that and you grow. We all grow. Because things that I wanted 10 years ago that was cool are not acceptable today, right? So it's taking that step back to do that self-evaluation and being able to hone into yourself and be real with yourself and get comfortable with yourself. I think you said it before, being unapologetically who you are. And part of that is really just embracing who you are and accepting yourself, and then going from there. And there's some things that need to be healed in order for you to get to what it is that you want.
True.
Right. I mean, I get that. I mean, like, have you ever been like hungry, man, and you got to go to like Wegmans or something like that to find something to eat, and you walking around and you just can't find what you want. But then when you finally decide to grab something,
It's
you
the
get
best
home
thing
and
ever.
you
It's
be like,
not what
this
you
shit
wanted.
was horrible.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
So you one thing when you're dating, man, like we have to know who we are and what we want.
You gotta know what you want.
You know what I mean? And then when we get to that point, we got to know how to maintain it, manicure it, and put it on the table, man, and presentation for what I like to eat. Now, what you like on your steak is obviously different than what I like on my steak.
Sure is.
You know what I mean? I've got people telling me I can't put A1 sauce on my
That's
steak.
just blasphemy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, talking about the seasoning was good.
The seasoning-
You were down with
seasoning
your
steak
seasoning.
right
I like
here.
my steak the way I like my
JT
steak.
want his
It's
A1
blasphemous.
sauce.
It's just, but eat your little funky steak. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
With
put-
your A1 sauce.
That with your A1 sauce.
What's next, man? Like, I can't put ketchup on my hamburger because you put some kind of seasoning on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? No ball sauce on my chicken because you seasoned it. No.
I mean,
I don't know who came up with
to be
that.
real. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Even the
But you're
steakhouse got the
But-
A1 sauce.
You're right.
But
Overall, for
but-
most, you gotta know what
what
you
you
want.
want? Yeah.
And that, like Jackie said too, it crosses over to friendships as well. And this has been one of the things I think I've tackled the most in the last 3 or 4 years is relationships.
Excuse me.
JT, I asked you not to die on our podcast.
I'm trying my best not to.
You can do it after, okay, but not during.
But you just met me, man, in the last 2 years. What the problem is? You got a problem with it?
No,
You almost made me choke. I thought we was cool.
no,
But go ahead.
We cool. We really cool. You're everything everybody told me. I was like, no. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean,
I'm dead.
that's one area that I've always struggled in is friendships with girlfriends, and and then I've realized it's really kind of no different. It's a little different because you sleeping with one, right? But it's going back to what it is
You
that
speaking with the girlfriend?
with the man.
Oh, you said
I
girlfriend.
sleep with the man.
And
What
she
I'm
said
saying is-
friendship and relationship is no
Oh,
different.
okay. You
Right.
saying that you sleeping with your man, but you ain't sleeping with your girlfriend.
Right. Well,
I'm a little slow, but I'm worth waiting.
it's okay because I'm on the slow bus tonight anyway. But it's one thing in my life that I realized I really attracted. Like for example, I've had people that'll be in my life. I'm just saying this for example. that I celebrate everything they do, and I don't get it back in return. And I found myself saying, gosh, it would be nice to have friends that could celebrate me the same way that I celebrated them. And somebody once told me, then you got to get new friends. Because you got to be able to have people around you that can give that. And if these people around you don't, you need to replace them. So I'm just saying that was an example that I've had to kind of reevaluate me. In that process, I realized I wasn't always being the best friend either. I had some things I needed to work on and change. And then kind of raise my expectations and get comfortable with understanding that in cleaning out my sandbox, I might sit in it by myself for a while alone.
Okay. So let's dig into that a little bit. There's two things that I feel like a little bit with that. First, we're going to talk about the expectation. You know what I mean? And you coming from a different world, and I'm coming from a different world. Your world, you gave out gifts on birthdays and stuff like that. On my world, I ain't get no gifts on my birthday. I ain't never give out no gifts. So even when I did get one, I didn't know how to reciprocate that.
Okay.
So then the second part to that is going back to the dating thing, man. Even with your friends, man. You, instead of talking to the other friend and saying you need to leave them alone, talk to your friend and say, hey, listen, I just need to understand.
Well, see
this.
that's
Hold on,
that's part of a conversation.
Let me finish this now.
I'm with you on that.
Communication.
You communicate and say, hey, listen, I'm trying to understand this. Like, I went and bought you some stuff for your birthday, but you didn't reciprocate. Like, is it something going on here that I didn't know, or you just didn't feel like you should reciprocate? And if you didn't, that's fine. I just know how to move.
I like that you said that, and I do totally agree with that. A lot of times, and I'm the queen of misunderstanding and jumping to conclusions. I am the reigning queen. I can teach you how to do it without messing up your hair, honey. But that is something I have to learn. We were talking about that on the way here. I have to learn how to not assume things, and the things that I assume go back to my past, right? And I can't assume that everybody is going to do me how I've been done in the past. Like you said, maybe I just don't know how to give gifts. Maybe I'm broke and can't give you a gift, or whatever. There may be something going on, but I'm assuming this, and now I got attitude. And I think that is a problem in both, personal, intimate relationships and friendships. We just literally jump to conclusions. And again, I'm the reigning queen of it. We jump to conclusions and assume things, and it's not true. But a simple conversation, could have cleared everything up. And now you better. And maybe some people just ain't shit. They're not gonna give you a gift. They selfish. At least now I'm not gonna expect this, and I need to redirect how I'm gonna handle this friendship. Or that person may say, I would love to get you gifts, girl, but I am just so broke, or I don't know what to get you, or whatever. And that conversation could have fixed that, and going for it. So I like that you said.
I like it, man, because communication, I think, is key.
key.
You go all the way across the board, because you don't really understand or know what people are thinking. I need to know what you're thinking, so I know how to react.
But be honest with me now, because if I come to you and we had that conversation, this is another issue that I find is that I can have a conversation with Jackie, and I know her feedback is the truth. She's being honest with me. But some people, I've known her for a while, so I know. So
she ain't never lied to you.
I wouldn't say that I think she's ever lied to me.
She lied to you. I know.
You can say that.
You can say that. I just don't believe it, right? Right. But there are some people that you can confront and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. This is what's going on. And you talk, and you think everything cool. They walk away, and there's still an attitude, and there's still a problem. So there's also some maturity that goes along with that, too. And not everybody has the maturity to be able to have a grown-up conversation and process like an adult, because a lot of us still think like we're in high school and early 20s. Some of us still way back there.
Well, I think that's a second level to it, because once I come and communicate with you on this, man, and it happens again.
Yeah, now
right. I gotta start making some fallbacks.
Yeah, now we gotta make some adjustments.
You know what I mean? And I don't have no problem telling you, like, when you call me and be like, hey, what happened? I thought I really wasn't feeling it, man, because you had did that again.
Yeah, now we
you know what I'm saying? And I can't do that.
Now there's a pattern. The first time I'm gonna think it's a mistake. The second time that's you.
And that's literally, I agree with both. That's literally the justifications of any, again, relationship, whether it's friendship or intimate.
Yep.
The communication, the trust factor, because we can communicate. I can't effectively communicate if I don't trust you.
Right.
First of all.
Right.
So trust factor, the communication and the respect.
Right.
Because piggybacking on what JT just said, doesn't matter if we communicate it and you keep repeating the same behavior. So therefore, there's a lack of respect. You don't respect any conversation that we had because it's either going in one ear and out the other, or you don't care, or you don't care.
You don't care.
Because you repeatedly...
Or you're trying to manipulate me.
The value of me is not,
like there's still
not
something
in there
for me to be there with you, and you playing in my face.
Right.
So then that's when we need to...
Back up.
Back up. Back up. I got 2 cars, man, but one of them is sparkling shiny, and the other one's always dirty. You can be like, yo, you like that car better than you like that car. You know what I mean? So, like, with that being said, like you know, like with me and my brothers, we like best of friends. I know what they doing, how they doing, what they thinking, or something like that. So you can come in and say, man, Craig just went fishing. Don't sound right. He ain't been fishing in years. You know what I'm saying?
Like, wait a minute.
Wait. Fishing.
Yo, and then furthermore, he know I like to fish. He ain't saying shit to me. So you know what I do? I pick up the phone and call him. Nigga, I'm hearing things out here, bro.
Fishing?
You fishing now? You on the creek?
We
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that we have to what it was like communicating. You know, say, wait a minute, you said what? Who? He did what? Yeah. Let me call him up right now. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you know, amongst a lot of my friends, we had some issues going on, and like, you know, they wasn't responding to like our group texts and doing different stuff like that. I called them individually.
Yeah.
Say, hey, man, what's up? I ain't heard from you, man. You said some things on here. I need to know what is a problem with me. Oh, no, not you. Okay, we communicated. You know what I'm saying? Call the next one. Hey, man, what's up?
Good?
You good? Yeah, because I don't believe in, like, you know, I'm gonna call you my friend, that I'm gonna be walking around with an attitude.
Exactly.
I don't do that. I don't know how to do
Right,
that.
because we should be
You know what I'm saying?
be able to talk and stuff.
We not in the sandbox
But
no
maybe
more.
we communicated and it wasn't effective.
Right.
That too, and you can only communicate to the level of something. Like if your communication is here and theirs is there, nothing's gonna get resolved.
Oh, it's gonna get
To
resolved.
you like a grown ass
It's definitely
woman,
going to get resolved.
and you still.
I'm going to walk away.
Well,
Right.
yeah, it's gonna get resolved. I'm gonna resolve it and move on the rest of my life. But like for me, I pick and choose who I choose to have conversations with, because if I know you're not gonna take accountability, you're gonna try to manipulate the situation. If I know I'm gonna end up probably more aggravated from the situation, I'm probably gonna just let it go. I'm just gonna let it go and just move differently from you.
Accountability is everything.
Accountability is huge. And sometimes, here's the thing, sometimes you don't get it. Like with me, people can have conversations with me about stuff, and I'm not going to agree with you. I might not agree with you right away, but I might walk away and chew on it for a minute and be like, oh, maybe I did do that. You know,
There's a level of growth.
right. And then I'm going to call you back and be like, you know, my bad.
Yeah, you have to be a thinker. I tell everybody, man, I don't care if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Take some time without the TV, the social media, any man, just by yourself, man, and be with you and your spirit, man, dealing with some things.
Yes.
So you can start to think. You can think about your days and like your spirit to tell you that person wasn't right.
Yeah.
Why would they even come to
that.
me with that?
Like,
and if my level is here and you're here, all right. So when you in life, man, you're gonna run into people, man, that you're right here.
Yep.
But when
Correct.
you're growing,
yep.
and they're still here,
Yeah.
they're
We
not
gotta do
coming
something
up
different.
here.
We got to do something different.
Only way for y'all to get back to where y'all was, you got to come back down.
Exactly. And I'm not going to do
That,
that.
you know,
I'm
so
not
why
gonna
do that? We stagnated. So sometimes, man, it could be some friends, just got to leave them behind.
And that happens
It
in
could be some
relationships.
relatives, got to leave them behind.
That
You know what I'm
happens in
saying?
intimate
I
relationships
see you when I
as
see
well.
you.
Deuces, I got Beyonce now.
Let me upgrade.
You know what I'm saying?
I know,
I'm gonna put a ring
true.
on it
And
too.
sometimes it just is what it is. It's nothing personal.
I thought it
love
was
you.
Monica. How you go back to Beyonce?
Cause Beyonce ain't hollered yet. I'm still open.
Oh.
Well, this podcast on YouTube, maybe she will.
Right.
But yeah, it just gets to a point where, you know, I'm not stunting my growth for anybody. And
Right.
some things I'm just not willing to do anymore. I've resolved it within me, and I'm moving on. And I ask for people for me to meet people at my level. Actually, I don't even want to meet people at my level. I want to meet people at the level I'm trying to get to so they can help me get up there. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to go higher, but I'm not going down.
You can't.
I can't be a 43-year-old woman that thinks like a 33-year-old woman. I just can't do it. Or 23. I'm not doing it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, and if you hanging out with some 43-year-old people, and they still stagnate, you can't teach a third grade or ninth grade work. It just ain't gonna happen. You could show them that, but they ain't gonna know what the hell you talking about because they missed some steps.
Right.
But I mean, in 4, 5, 6, and 7,
Right.
8. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, that we have to be able to talk to people, communicate. If you're in a toxic relationship, communicate. And if you can't communicate, vacate. You know what I mean? Because you're not getting into the relationship that you're supposed to be in. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to communicate with people. If you're not communicating with the person you with, I don't care if it's friend, lover, whatever, move on.
I feel like sometimes it is hard.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it is hard because some people don't know how to communicate.
Right.
Some people, because communication is not just talking. You know, you also have to listen. You also have to receive. You also have to be willing to be objective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes it is hard if you're not communicating effectively, if you're not both hearing each other, whether it's a friend or mate. Like if you're not both hearing it, you're not even willing to hear because, you know, your ego doesn't allow you to.
Right.
Or your
that's that one right there. It's the ego.
narcissistic behavior
It's the ego.
doesn't
Yep.
allow you to.
Yep.
Or your competitiveness or
Yep.
your manipulative type of trait doesn't allow you to. So I feel like sometimes it is hard.
And sometimes take it a step further from that. You're not taught it. Like, I didn't grow up in a household where we communicated. Everybody gets attitudes and walks away. So as an adult, that's how I handle things. I just get an attitude and walk away. And this is another thing we can eventually talk about because we got to close this up, is when it comes to friendships is I don't give somebody a chance to understand my boundaries. I don't learn yours. So the first time you cross one of my boundaries, I'm just done with you. But you had no idea that was a boundary for me. You had no
Correct.
idea that you don't like when people do that. You know what I mean? We're never taught how to communicate and to have productive relationships with people. At least most of us are not taught that. We have to learn that. I'm learning it later on in my life on how to have productive relationships with people. And like I said, communicate.
I get
Hey,
it.
you cool and all, but I really don't like when you say stuff. That really makes me upset. Okay, Cecily, I won't do that again.
Well, you know what I mean? Like for me, I may come that soft, man. It all depends. You know, I have no qualms about telling you how I feel, man. Yeah, you fell apart. You did me wrong. You did this. You did that. Now, after that, next 2 minutes later, I'm like, hey,
We're gonna be over it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Cecily,
like,
how you doing? I done
and
said.
I think that's a Pisces thing. Like, we are done.
I done said how I felt. I need
And
you to
I'm
see-
good with it.
I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm not carrying a torch. Like,
No. And if I am, now wait a minute now, because I'm not gonna lie. If there's something that I still need some time to forgive, I'm gonna tell you that. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. But I still need I need some space. I still gotta work through some things. But
Maybe
just
you're
give me a
still.
minute.
Maybe I'm still processing.
I'm still processing it.
Or I'm still hurt.
Yep.
Or because I didn't understand.
Exactly.
It was just
I still
once.
gotta figure it out.
It was just once. She was just a friend of mine, and it was just something that happened. Again, I'll give you a little time to get over it, but you know, I need you to come and cook my food.
Not come and cook your food. Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's all
Brown
cool.
Center.
No, you don't want
it
me
was
to
just
cook your
one-
food.
It was just once.
You're gonna be like, why
You
my
wasn't
nose
home.
scratchy?
You didn't want me. You didn't
Oh,
So
want
that
me.
wasn't a misunderstanding. That was a decision.
Right.
Yeah,
wasn't a
that was an executive
misunderstanding.
decision. You was on your girls trip, and I needed somebody.
Toxic. What a word.
Toxic. What a word.
I'm toxic for having a price tag,
Toxic.
and you're not. Oh no, JT.
No,
toxic,
I'm
too.
not. Oh, you
Some toxic Pisces.
Everybody's toxic.
Toxic.
I think to some extent we probably all got some toxicity in
It
us.
just all
Hey,
depends on what
they're
toxic you're gonna deal
toxic.
with.
I'm a charm.
You are charming. You're
A
charming, toxic.
person.
You know what I'm saying? That I am the greatest. I don't see any flaws, and most people will tell you that, right? Hey,
Yeah.
all of y'all out there know I ain't got no flaws.
I'm a big sucker for miscommunication and misunderstanding, sitting down, talking, and moving past things. Those are the only two things I'm okay. When it comes to your character, that's a little bit different.
Well, I mean, it's
It's a little bit different. If you're
I
a
get you.
liar, you a cheat, you a thief, you a Manipulate, that type of shit I can't do.
Repetitive behavior.
Yeah, I can't do that. If that's in your core and you don't even, you're not gonna change it because that's just what you've been doing. That's all you know.
Repetitive behavior on top of the fact that you're not taking any
accountability. Well, I don't know if y'all noticed by now. If y'all noticed by now, I'm a talker. I might wake up in the middle. I might wake up in the middle of the night. I know good and goddamn well she didn't say that bullshit. I gotta call her because I know that I must be misunderstanding what the hell he said.
I know. Damn well.
And don't make me stalker call you because it's gonna be a whole nother issue.
No, stop.
Oh.
Well, we're Pisces, so that's what we do.
You trying to say you like me?
Yeah,
she is.
Got a lot.
So,
that's right, because you got the same.
Same birthday and everything. Ooh. So if Beyonce came and none of doing that was in a relationship, I would be courteous. I would go to the girl and be like, "Hey, listen, Beyonce's here. She wants to take me away. I don't want you to ruin this for me."
We're gonna strike up a deal. Now, what I'm gonna do.
Now, if she kicks me out, I'm definitely coming back because you the bomb. You the bomb.
But I'm wrong if I said that same thing about Morris Chestnut.
No, you're not. You're wrong because you had made a statement before then.
There's a price tag.
No, you didn't say that at the beginning.
Sign in front of me. We might talk.
You didn't say that at the beginning.
So, that's pretty much what I'm saying.
The moral to the story is both of y'all are toxic.
We're Pisces.
No, Jackie, don't. Let's get on Jackie now. You trying to say
right now? She's sitting over here because we done had some conversations.
You come out. You come out.
Toxic.
Yeah. Oh,
you come out. You come outside and Morris Chestnut sitting back in your jacuzzi and shit.
First of all, we gonna have a problem with him sitting in her jacuzzi.
You not there.
Okay.
You not in this movie.
I'm not
you
there.
not in this movie.
In her jacuzzi.
Now, Jackie, you telling me it was like no.
Me and Jackie go fall out. Now that's a boundary buster, and she knows better. She's gotta be like Morris,
at that point.
Cecily.
At that point, I think Jackie's ready for y'all to fall out.
I've been in Morris Chestnut's vicinity before.
No, I'm talking about him sitting in your jacuzzi, butt naked. It was chilling.
I want to know why y'all didn't say nothing to Floyd, man. Why you gonna let $1 billion walk past y'all like that, man?
Yeah, that's what we was doing.
Weird.
He was smaller than y'all thought.
Because I'm not a groupie.
I'm not, and I'm not impressed by Floyd Mayweather. But I think for me,
I got more money than Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
I'm not a groupie.
He's that big.
He's not married.
I'm taller than him, right? He's that big. And I couldn't figure out if that. I was like, "Is that?"
I said, hey.
And she did. I was like, I think he heard me say, "Oh, he's
He
short."
was like, stand back.
Yeah, and they was acting like,
and I was like,
we wasn't rushing them. We was just like, "Oh, hey," and they were like, "Stop." And we
the security said that.
Yeah, we was like, but we not.
We was
moving.
like,
okay, hi. And Floyd, he was like, but he was with some little girl too. So
yeah, he was his kid.
He had a date. No, that wasn't his kid.
Oh, it was a girl.
Yeah, he had.
Was she little like him?
Yeah, they was about the same height.
Nah, he don't.
They both was that big.
He don't have little ones like that.
because that's your friend.
Come on with that money.
You know, he that big.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like 5'6", 5'7".
No, he's like 5.
I don't
he's
even think
5
he's
foot.
5'7".
I think he's 5 foot. He's literally that big.
He's not 5 foot.
He's that big.
But
we was looking for Michael Jordan. I was like, oh, hey,
Floyd.
Where Michael Jordan at? That's who I wanted to see. Michael Jordan.
He was fishing. He was on a boat.
Yeah, I want to talk to him about some things. Nonetheless, y'all, the podcast we don't went past our little bit of time. We got to close it up and wrap it up.
All right, so.
Well, tune in next time.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Same time, same place.
It may be 8 p.m. We'll see.
He's 5'8".
We'll see.
Oh, God, he did not seem 5'8", but sorry.
He did, and he really was like that big. Seriously, that might be
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Please like the post. Make sure you spread the word. Tell everybody about therapy sessions.
Please.
Let's talk about it.
And we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube, so go on there. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Good.